The storm has finally broken. The waves, which were mountainous only an hour ago, are settling into a rhythmic, heavy swell. On the deck of the ship, the crew is celebrating. They are passing bottles of rum. They are slapping each other on the back. They are laughing with the hysterical energy of men who have just cheated death. They believe they survived because they are strong. They believe they survived because they are lucky. But in the captain's quarters, the mood is different. The candle is burning low. The room is silent. The captain is not drinking. He is not celebrating. He is sitting at a small wooden desk, staring at a blank page. He dips his pen into the ink. He begins to write. He writes because he knows something the crew does not. He knows that the survival of the ship was not a victory. It was a warning. He knows that they survived due to a series of fortunate accidents, not because of his skill. He knows that the storm will return. The ocean does not forgive. The ocean does not care about your luck. If he does not understand exactly what went wrong today, the ocean will kill him tomorrow. So he writes. He documents the errors. He documents the fear. He captures the truth before the relief washes it away. This is where you are in your life right now. You have just survived a storm. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe a relationship collapsed. Maybe you relapsed into a bad habit you swore to break. You are standing in the wreckage. Your instinct is to do one of two things. First, you might blame the storm. You say the economy is bad, or the woman was crazy, or the world is unfair. This is the path of the coward. Second, you might blame yourself. You drown in shame. You tell yourself you are worthless. You drink the poison of self-pity. This is the path of the fool. Both paths lead to the same destination. You learn nothing. You change nothing. And when the storm comes back, and it always comes back, you sink. There is a third path. It is the path of the captain. It is the path of cold, clinical analysis. It requires you to step out of the emotional swamp and look at the wreckage as data. A warrior does not view failure as a judgment on his soul. He views failure as feedback from reality. Reality is telling you that your system is broken. Reality is telling you that your map is wrong. You do not need a hug. You do not need a drink. You need a logbook. You need to sit down in the silence and dissect the corpse of your failure until you find the disease. Consider the old sea captain who learned the hard way. Years ago, he was young and proud. He thought he could outrun the weather. He thought his instinct was superior to the charts. He lost a ship and good men to his arrogance. He spent years on the shore, watching the horizon, haunted by the ghosts of his crew. When he finally returned to the sea, he was a different man. He carried a leather-bound book. Every night, no matter how calm the sea, he wrote. He wrote down the wind speed. He wrote down the mood of the men. He wrote down the smallest mistake in the rigging. He understood that the small things are the parents of the big disasters. He stopped trusting his memory, which is a liar, and started trusting the ink, which is permanent. Shame is loud. It screams in your ear. It tells you that you are broken. Data is quiet. Data sits in the corner and waits for you to ask the right question. You must learn to silence the shame so you can hear the data. When you fail, your ego wants to protect you. It builds a wall of excuses. It tells you that you were tired or distracted or provoked. The captain burns these excuses. He looks at the log and asks, "What happened?" Not, how do I feel about it, but what actually happened? To adopt this mindset, you need a protocol. You need a way to process failure that strips away the emotion. You need to write your own captain's log. This is not a diary. Do not write about your feelings. Do not write poetry. Keep it short. Keep it brutal. Use a 3-line structure for every failure, big or small. Line 1. Expected. What did you think would happen? I expected to wake up at 5 a.m. and train. Line 2. Happened. What actually took place? I hit snooze 4 times and woke up at 7 a.m., rushing and angry. Line 3. The fix. This is the most important line. Do not write, I will try harder next time. Trying harder is not a strategy. Hope is not a strategy. You need a system change. Write, I will move the alarm clock to the bathroom, so I must stand up to turn it off. This is the difference between a wish and a protocol. A wish relies on your willpower, which is a finite resource. A protocol changes the environment so that willpower is not required. If you failed to save money, do not promise to be better. Set up an automatic transfer that happens before you see the paycheck. If you failed to keep your temper, do not promise to be a saint. Identify the trigger that set you off and build a wall around it. The captain does not pray for a calm sea. He builds a stronger ship. You must also learn the art of the pre-check. Before the captain takes the ship out of the harbor, he walks the deck. He checks the ropes. He checks the hull. He runs a simulation in his mind. You must do the same. Before you enter a high-stakes situation, a negotiation, a date, a difficult workout, take 2 minutes. Ask yourself, what is likely to go wrong here? Be honest. I am tired, so I will likely be irritable. There is alcohol at this party, so I will be tempted to break my fast. Once you see the potential failure, you can set the trap for it. You decide your response before the emotion hits you. If I feel irritable, I will not speak for the first 5 minutes. If I am offered a drink, I will order sparkling water immediately. You are fighting the battle in your mind before it happens in reality. This is how you win. You do not rely on your reflexes in the heat of the moment. You rely on the plan you made in the cold light of the morning. There is a myth that great men do not fail. We look at the statues of heroes and think they were born perfect. We think they walked a straight line from birth to glory. This is a lie. The path of the warrior is a jagged line. It is a series of corrections. The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. The difference is that the master did not waste the failure. He harvested it. He took the pain and turned it into wisdom. He took the embarrassment and turned it into armor. When you stop fearing failure, you become dangerous. Most men play small because they are terrified of looking foolish. They stay in the harbor where it is safe. They never test the hull of their ship. But a ship in the harbor is rotting. A ship is built for the open ocean. If you are not failing, you are not pushing. If you are not making mistakes, you are stagnating. The goal is not to avoid the storm. The goal is to learn how to navigate it. You must detach your identity from your results. You are not your bank account. You are not your failed marriage. You are not your relapses. You are the consciousness that observes these things. You are the captain. The ship may be damaged. The sails may be torn. But as long as the captain is calm, the ship can be saved. As long as the captain is writing in the log, there is hope. The moment you give up and let the chaos take the wheel, you are lost. Think of the ink on the page. It is black and permanent. It does not judge. It simply records. Be like the ink. Be objective. Be ruthless with the facts and gentle with the soul. You cannot fix what you will not face. You cannot navigate a territory that you refuse to map. So tonight, when the house is quiet, do not turn on the television to numb your brain. Do not call a friend to complain. Sit at your desk, open a notebook. Look at the failure of the day. Look at it directly, without flinching. Write it down. Expected. Happened. Fix. Turn the shame into a strategy. Turn the pain into a plan. The only question is, will you keep making the same mistake until it drowns you? Or will you finally learn the lesson, repair the breach, and set sail for deeper waters? The ocean is waiting. The storm is coming. Write the log.